I don't know, man. I feel like I need to marinate what I just read. Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ness, and I also go by Ness Alpaca on every social media. Today, we are going to be reading Volume 9, Book 3 of Berserk. And I just want to say before I start, apologies about the lighting. It is 1,000 degrees in Sydney right now. It is so hot in my room, which is why I have a fan on. So if you hear a bit of wind feedback, I'm really sorry about that, but I don't have aircon in this room. It doesn't help that I'm wearing long sleeve, but I gotta stick to like the theme because I always tend to wear a button up when I do these videos, and I gotta. But that being said, I decided to have my lights off, except for that room, obviously, because when I have the ring light on, it just gets so hot. I'm also wearing no makeup, so sorry if I look tired. I'm actually not tired. This is just my natural face. I've been itching to read this, but I've just been so busy this week. I got my 9 to 5 grind, then my content shenanigans, my stream life, and then gym. Although I've been kind of neglecting gym, just haven't had time. But anyway, enough yap yap. I do have a couple comments that I want to read out because I had a lot of questions last video about like, why is Griffith doing this? Blah 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 blah. I don't get it. Why is it treason? I had no idea about the ages. Why was Guts 15 when he joined the Band of the Hawk? I think because they all look a lot older, I just assumed everyone was like, I don't know what I thought. I didn't really have an age in mind, but definitely adult. Turns out Charlotte is 17, and I think Griffith at that point in time would have been, correct me if I'm wrong, 21 or 25. It's one of those, I can't remember, but anyway, it's still like kind of monk-ass. Let me read a couple comments. Limited Lifespan says, Griffith was indeed playing an intricate and masterful game of 4D chess. Then his best piece got up and walked off the board, beating him on the way out. These are his pieces, he owns them. You belong to me, I will decide the place where you die. Not exactly the kind of guy who reacts well to losing to something he sees as a possession. His game pieces aren't supposed to have their own agency. Although I think Griffith does really feel something for Guts at this point, but doesn't allow himself to acknowledge this. He has to stick to his ideals that he is above the rest. Guts leaves without so much as bruising Griffith in the duel. Maybe his hand is stinging a bit from the blade breaking. It has, however, completely demolished him inside. His ego has collapsed. It mentally flips his whole 4D chess table. All he has left to put back together is to jump right to the endgame, Charlotte. Thank you. I feel like that literally sums everything up. It makes sense when you put it that way. I understand it now. Thank you so much for your comment. And the next one, Risk Control says, looking forward to your Griffith cosplay. Grimace emoji. Don't ask why I know the name, like why that emoji is called Grimace, but anyways. To answer your question, him sleeping with the princess is treason for several reasons, which boil down to 1, it was assault, sort of, and number 2, he's of common birth. Even though he now has rank, the real nobles would never consider him one of theirs. To sleep with the heiress to the kingdom, especially with no formal marriage or even engagement at that level of society, is unthinkable. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know, for some reason I guess I forgot all of my Game of Thrones knowledge when it comes to kingdoms and birthrights and being betrothed and all that. Yeah, I don't know, fam. I did not realize it was that big of a deal that he was of common birth. The kingdom people have put on a lot of emphasis that he is of common birth. Like, they would bring it up all the time. Okay, makes sense. And being the assault, the only reason why I was confused about that was because I know that Charlotte really liked Griffith. So from, without knowing her age, from my point of view, I just saw it as like she's consenting. But obviously she is young. Yeah, thank you for your comment, and thank you for answering my question. Now, that being said, I shall go on with the recap of Volume 8 so far from what I can remember. I don't have a script for these videos, by the way. I don't know if you can tell, I'm just kind of YOLOing. So I will forget a lot of points, but I guess that's the charm of these videos. Haha. Anyway, of the second half of like what from the last video. Sorry if none of this makes any sense, but yeah. Guts has left. Then Guts came back. Guts was versing a Khalid from Mobile Legends with 10 whips on his sword. Griffith went to sleep with Charlotte, the young, not 18 yet princess. The king was like, Putangin mo bro, she's mine. Griffith has been tortured for a year now, and Golem looking ass has been torturing him. And what else can I remember? Yeah, essentially a year has passed, and now we are getting to the reunion with the boys plus Casca, and I think we're going to discover what else is happening with Griffith in the torture chamber. Also, shout out to the person who said my voice is quite soothing. You're like the first person on this planet to have said so. I feel like my voice is kind of grady and annoying and low. But my voice never used to be like this. I genuinely blame streaming. Anyway, so this video, we're gonna end Volume 9 today. To finish off Volume 9 officially, we are going to be reading Comrades in Arms, Confession, Wounds Chapter 1 and Wounds Chapter 2. Comrades in Arms, Volume 9. Okay, just finished Comrades in Arms. Don't really have much to say other than everyone is pretty much the same. Qualcus is still annoying. Some of you guys have said that like you understand why he's like that. I mean, I get it, but an annoying personality is still an annoying personality to me, in my opinion. But I think that's more of a personality clash, perhaps. Yeah, I don't really have much thoughts. It seems that this chapter is building up to something. I don't know what it is, but I guess it's just giving us the details of what's happened in the last year of like what Guts has actually been doing. I assumed he was just going around fighting people to get stronger, but turns out he was up in the mountains swinging his sword. I think Casca likes Guts cause not only was she calling out to Griffith when she was in a coma, but also Guts. So I don't know. It reiterates that she sees Griffith as more of like her god, and then I think Guts is someone she does have romantic feelings for. Anyway, next chapter is Confession. What? I don't understand. So, Casca's mad, Guts left, which then in turn made Griffith act out, which then in turn shattered or stopped the dream of Griffith's kingdom from happening, which then in turn stopped Casca from being his sword. What? Why is she mad? I mean, what? What's her problem? Wait, I feel like I need to reread this. I'm kind of confused. Okay, so what does Guts leaving have to do with anything? Why is it Guts' fault that Griffith acted out? Griffith is not a child. Or is she just mad that everything's fallen to shit? And then she tried to jump off a cliff. Again. I'm confused. I am just as confused as Guts is, not gonna lie. Okay, we just finished confession. Can someone tell me why that like went 360? Now they're kissing? What the fuck is going on? She goes, in the last panel, this one, like, I'm so... Bitch, am I dumb? I finally realized that day that more than Griffith brought to his knees from his first defeat. I couldn't tear my eyes away from him as he left without even looking back, that I didn't want to admit what I had become. It was like the me I had been since I met Griffith, like the feelings I'd had since then would all be false. Afraid of all that, I've lived by my sword, with the intent of sacrificing myself for my unrequited feelings for Griffith. There is no falsehood in the way that I live. That alone was my pride, because it's what Griffith gave me. What is she saying? Bro, it's literally 0 to 100. Let's just read the next chapter. I'm so confused. Alright, Wounds, chapter 1. Bro, Got's low-key based, so he's pointing out Casca's scars, and then she's like, oh, I'm not a woman, and then Guts goes, what's the point in hanging them now, because obviously she's been naked for a while. They're like medals for mercenaries, you know, and then she's like, but even then, I'm a woman. And then he goes, I know that, I feel it to the bone. You get all jealous, you get mad fast, and you're quick to hit. You're plenty womanly based. Bro, I thought it was like a romantic, you know, I totally fucking forgot about that stupid ass motherfucker. Oh my god. Poor Guts. Okay, let's continue. Words chapter 2. That's sad. I guess on the bright side, Guts and Casca like each other. And now they can relate to each other. I don't know, man. I feel like I need to marinate what I just read. Because it's like low-key kind of triggering. Not triggering, but it's making me remember my own past. Not that I've killed anyone, lol. But, I am a bit confused at Casca saying, I want a wound that I can say you gave me. Is she talking about penetration? Like him inserting his sword? Or is it like a child? Question mark? Oh my god, I don't know what to say. That is the end of book 3, volume 9, and we shall be reading volume 10 next. Guys, I really don't know what to say. I feel like I need to sit down and think. I feel like something bad is gonna happen because there's no way they're just going to sleep together and then it's all butterflies and roses and daisies. Death is on his shoulder. Does him being born on, was it he was born on dead bodies or something like that? Being found on a pile of dead bodies. Did that actually put an actual curse on him? Or is that just a figure of speech because the circumstances of when he was found? I don't know what to say. I'm sad. I mean, at least they have each other. What the hell? Poor Guts, I feel so bad for him. Yeah, I genuinely don't know what to say. I feel like I need to think about this. Why was Casca so mad? Was she just mad because she likes Guts and then he left her? And then obviously with Griffith gone crazy, all of the responsibility fell onto her shoulders without her wanting it. Yeah, maybe that's why actually. And then now that he's come back out of the blue, she's like, what the fuck? Or did she want to sleep with him to see if these confusing feelings she had for him are actual feelings of love? Question mark? Well, as always, please let me know your thoughts, any insights, any interpretations. Oh, wait. I forgot to show you guys my favorite panels. Not as many this time around because half of the chapters were not safe for YouTube. But the two that I can show that I like are Judo and him giving each other a thumbs up. So cute. And lastly, I think this 2-page spread is absolutely beautiful. The waterfall, Casca and Guts, and then this, like, just the detail on their armor, the tree, just everything. Amazing work. So beautiful. Oh, man. Oh my god, I don't want to cry. So sad. I had an experience when I was 14. And I'm in my 30s now. But, you know, I still think about that bad experience. I guess that's why Guts was taken aback when he hadn't thought about his dad in like a year. And then all of a sudden, obviously, he's had a very traumatic experience as a kid. And seeing Casca as his young self, I don't know. I shall leave it there, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, thank you for sharing this experience with me, reading Berserk. I know a lot of people have warned me, like, it's really heavy, it's really dark. But I think the reason why I'm not afraid to read it, I guess, is because I have my own demons, things that I have experienced when I was young. And I've said this before, which is one of the reasons why I really relate to Naruto a lot, is because when you find someone, even if they're cartoon characters, that can relate to your experience, it's actually quite comforting to know, like, I'm not the only one. Even though these are like fictional characters. Maybe I'm just crazy, but I actually feel related to. Even if maybe the relation is not real, it has saved my life multiple times. So I really owe a lot to Naruto, and as a grown adult now, I feel like Guts' experience, some of the things that he experienced in his childhood, like, I can relate to that. And it's comforting, I guess. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye!